What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm over here laughing at the comments. Warts up. That's gonna be it right there. The group chant. I'm not coming out loud enough, so I'm turning myself up. Yeah. So warts up. How's everybody doing? Yes, this is a Sergeant Frog shirt, since you can kind of see their faces. Um, yeah. How's everybody doing? Hopefully really good on this Monday afternoon. Uh, yeah. Just went to the gym earlier. I'm feeling good, but worn out all at the same time. You know, if you know what I mean. Other than that, yeah, just finished the Game of Thrones new episode, and holy crap, the cliffhanger all over the place. Just I don't even know where to begin. So just getting those out of the way before I even get ranty on that kind of stuff. But yeah, hopefully everybody's doing good out there. There's a couple of you guys out there watching, and again, I know this is a weird time schedule. It just works for me personally, and I just that's all I can really say to that. I know, like, if I were like on later in the day or something, it'd be a lot better and easier. But hey, at least I'm getting you guys warmed up for vaping with the Ohmies. How about that? It's a nice 3-4 hour long warm up. Uh, Dude, I wish I can get hats made. You do not know how expensive hats are to get made. I wish I could get clown hats made. That'd be awesome. But yeah, no, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. I still do have vaping with the Ohmies mats. If any of you out there hasn't bought one yet and you're interested in getting one, go check out clownvapes.com. I have them on there, and if you use Ohmies20 as the code, it does get you 20% off on the vape mat. Just trying to get rid of all of them. I think I have like 5 left. A nice little vape right there. Yeah, I know, right, dude? Trust me. And so yeah, I'm excited about today. We have Addy Tooney on vaping with the Ohmies. If you guys haven't checked out our posts and all that kind of stuff like we do every Monday, hopefully it's a good show. See what else. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into some what I've been vaping and all that kind of situation, and then we'll get the ball a rolling. All right, so what I've been vaping, I am rocking that plug Citadel combo right there, and in that I got that Karango. If the glare from my window wasn't like so hardcore. And up next, I got that RNV Designs Pontus. I don't know how to pronounce it, with a Hadley on top. And the FedEx guy just showed up, and I'm hoping that that's my package I'm waiting for. And if I do, I will walk away shortly. So I apologize for that, but I'll just put on my ugly mug on display for you guys. But in that, I got 12 monkeys with the Pontus and all that kind of thing. Dude, these little things rip. I got a 0.13 in this thing. Just amazing clouds. Just for how little it is and everything, it rips. It's just a really nice mod. Makes me really happy. All right, I'll be right back. Let me see. Oh my god. So okay, sorry. I'm back. That was really quick. I'm glad that was quick. Yeah, I am sorry, but FedEx guy almost walked off with my package. If you guys want to see me open it on here, just let me know and I'll open it. If not, I'm going to do it in my own private time. But yeah, where was I? What I've been vaping. Next we got the Unicorn MDX kit with the Unicorn RDA on top and the Unicorn mod, and I have that backwards. I will say the one thing I love about this is that the whole situation right there, it stays all lined up if you put the cap on the right way. Yeah, I'm getting like a huge glare over here. And then I got the little last bit of fruit basket for my own personal line. Since this is a DIY thing, I at least gotta have one DIY juice in my lineup. You know what I mean? All right. Yeah, we're gonna jump into some DIY talk. I've been trying to rack my brain on what topics we're gonna cover and that kind of thing. But you know what? We're gonna just jump into it and see what's up. All right. So let me see. 15 months into vaping, and I just switched from 2 to 4 coils to my first single coil build. Got bored of clouds, bro, clouds. Yeah, me and more or less just exploring things. Like, I actually am starting in on my channel with the review stuff. I am starting a RTA kind of like thing. Like most of my reviews coming out here in the next couple of weeks is just gonna be nothing but RTAs because I haven't explored tanks in a while. Like seriously, the Kanger was the first tank. Well, it was the first tank that I believed was okay and was the last tank I cared to mess with. After that, I got nothing but RDAs, and I've just been living that rebuildable dripper lifestyle. And no, yeah, dude, clouds bro clouds. I'm always for clouds bro clouds, but you know what? Sometimes just getting a little flavor banger like this guy, or a couple other things I got somewhere hidden back there in a box that I have back there. So you just need something that'll get the job done. Honestly, that's what it boils down to, you know. And so yeah, DIY talk. Like I was talking about last week, DIY encompasses a lot more than just juice. I know a lot of people kind of that's their go-to whenever you hear DIY. It's do-it-yourself juice because that is kind of like the number one thing you think of, honestly. In all reality, is juice because juice is so readily available. There's so much of it. There's so many companies out there, but there's that one moment where you either hit, I don't want to be paying for this anymore, or you hit I want to try to make something that isn't out there and I want to make it for myself and try it out. But on the other hand, there's other things when it comes to DIY, and I want to touch on those things eventually. There's one that I just can't speak for at any level because I do not have experience in it, and it's DIY box making. Being a modder, like being a person that just starts off as, hey, I could do that. And I mean, I have a friend, Mr. Warlock's Hammer, Gathering Vapor Lounge, Mr. Mark Cloth. Um, he's a dude that just kind of saw a DNA box. He saw a couple of boxes. He hated them. He wasn't a fan of like how they worked and this and that. Not the DNA boxes, just I think he said it was the Alien from Smock, if you guys remember those. And he just started building his own box and that kind of situation. So it turns into, eventually you hit a breaking point of like, hey, maybe I could just do this for myself or make something out of it. And I mean, like, that's how we all kind of start off. And eventually we're like, maybe I could try to make a little extra scratch or make this into my life, because I, like me personally with my stuff, I want to make it to where I don't have to have a 9 to 5 every day because I've always never been a 9 to 5 guy. I don't like that. Uh, in my teenage years, I tried making it as a musician, but the music world is a harsh one. If you've ever tried actually doing musician stuff, it's a lot of work, and the sad part is like a lot of people aren't willing to put that work in, and that's kind of what I got stuck with, like in bandmates, because I played in a bunch of death metal bands, and it was just guys that kept telling you they wanted to make this into their life, they wanted to make a living off of it, but they didn't want to put forth the effort, meaning practices, meaning going out to clubs and bugging club owners and telling them, hey, we have a band, this and that. They didn't want to put any of the work in, but they wanted to be doing that, and it just doesn't work that way. And same for this. I mean, I've put in a lot of work for this. Luckily, I kind of just rely on myself on this one, which kind of works out for me because the whole team sports thing was never one of my strongest suits because I don't like being weighed down by others or weighing down others, honestly, both ways. So going into what I'm talking about, you do things for yourself. Like me, coil building is another thing that I do as another aspect of something. And I started off with like just the idea of I wanted fused Claptons. I really didn't know that there were people out there that sold them pre-made. I knew that you can make them, but I didn't know that you could go to like, say, M Turk or Coil Turd later on or any of that kind of thing. Yep, everybody wants instant gratification. That's not how it works. You just put in the grind, you put in the work, and that's when you get it. And it just turns into one of those weird things. But But so yeah, I started out with the idea of I want to make fused Claptons because for some reason I wanted to stick a fused Clapton in a Kanger RBA, which honestly, to be bluntly honest, that was about the most dumbest, ridiculous thing I've ever done. I did manage to do it, and it took forever because I am not a quick learner. A lot of things take me a little bit more of time, process, repeat, repeat, repeat. Like to this day, I still can't alien worth a shit. I've made fused Claptons, tricores, frame staples, but tell me to alien all of that, and it ain't happening. I just can't get that stretch down, and it just messes up. And every once in a while, I'll get an itch in my side, and I'll start like working on aliens again, and I just still haven't been able to like accomplish it. But it's something that I'm putting forth the work towards. So again, back to my story. I live in tangents. If you haven't noticed yet, I live in tangents. So I started making Clapton. Well, actually, I made fused Claptons. I just skipped Claptoning altogether. And honestly, I wish I probably would have taken the time to learn how to Clapton first and then try fused Claptons. But yeah, I kind of did it backwards because eventually I did start doing Claptons here and there just for like experiments on certain things, like making like what are those called again? Parallel, like parallel coils. Doing like a Clapton with the parallel on the side, but then I would twist them before wrapping it. And that kind of situation, just out of boredom, I would play around with different ideas. And eventually I got to a point where I was comfortable and I was like, you know what, I could probably try to sell these. And that's also when the market kind of exploded with coil builders selling their own coils and this and that. So I was like, maybe I could put my name in the hat. And you learn about different wire types, different wire companies, who's good, who's not good, who's worth their time, what to avoid, and all that kind of thing. It just all kind of falls on your budget in that kind of situation. What are you willing to spend on what you're doing? Because I mean, like Kidney Puncher Coil Society, they are really good wire companies. At times, like, it just feels a little bit out of my price range, but you save up for these kind of things and try to do it. Lightning Vapes is another good company that you can use, and it really honestly, when it comes to Lightning Vapes wire, just clean it and you're perfectly fine. That's like the difference in quality. It's just how much cleaning do you have to put into it. There's other ones that I've heard of, like KB. I've never tried them myself. I've had some people tell me it's the best wire out there. I've had other people tell me that it's not the best wire, that it's complete garbage. A lot of it just falls into like your own needs and what you think of it. There's a Cloudmaster, which I used to use that when I first started building. And at this point, I don't think I've looked up any of their stuff in probably 3 years. And at first it was fine because it was all I could find. I was a huge novice about a lot of this stuff and what I needed to do, what I needed to go to, and all that kind of situation. There's also Twisted Messes, which if you guys are willing to buy that, Twisted Messes, twistedmesses.com, go check out his stuff. I mean, I've tried like Coil Turds coils, which the dude is an amazing builder, but he uses Twisted Messes wire. So there's like different avenues of how you can make coils and things like that. Like where to begin. A good one's just get wrapping down. Do like your standard round wire build. Just get that concept down, because once you get that down, which is really easy. I mean, it doesn't take very, very work. What's up, Mr. Chris Snyder? As I take a vape. Learning round wire, I think, is a good starting point, but it's something that you don't have to really sit on very long. Claptoning, just getting the idea of holding the spool or the piece of wire, I think is another great avenue of trying to get that down. Like I said, I jumped straight to fused Claptons, and I maybe should have gotten Claptoning down beforehand. And it's one of those things, if you get Claptoning down right away and you're comfortable, go on to a fused, double up the wire, see how that falls in for you, how it works out and all that kind of situation. And from there, it turns into what are you aiming for and where you're wanting to go with your wires, and all that kind of thing. What kind of build are you trying to do for yourself? Now, me personally, I love an alien. I love a good alien, but like I said, I can't do it. And honestly, even tricores do the job. They get a nice, warm, hot build, and it gives me all the vapor and all the flavor that I want. Frame staples are nice if you want something ridiculously hot that ramps the hell up, as long as you build properly and all that kind of situation. And And like, trying to think here, like what other, there's like a lot of styles of coils, but a lot of them tend to be mostly for show and mostly so you can actually just enjoy what they look like, you know. There are different wire styles. I mean, we got Kanthal, nichrome, stainless steel, nickel 200. The, you know, those are kind of like, me personally, nichrome is it. I don't really care. I tried stainless steel, wasn't for me. I don't care for the playing around with you know, with the ohmage. Sorry, blah. I've been drawing a blank lately for like the last week or so. Like I'm in the middle of something, just, and I'm sitting there thinking for a while. But stainless steel, something I just don't like playing with. The fact that the ohmage jumps up and down depending on how hot it's getting and all that kind of situation, just not for me personally. I don't use temp control. Don't care to play with temp control. I have a DNA 250C mod and I just run it in wattage, honestly. I've put stainless steel coils on a natty just to try that out and see how that works, and it's still something I just don't care for. Uh, I'm a very huge into mechanical mods. Anything parallel or mechanical just makes me happy. And see, like Chris Snyder says it too. NI80, best for him. And that's same here. I mean, N80, NI80, whatever you want to call it. Is it has the least amount of effort in it, and you just kind of rock it, and it just works out, you know. There's also Kanthal, which for me, it's a flavor point. At that point, it's just more like I can tell you, I can taste the metalliciness of it, and others say otherwise. Like between Kanthal and N80, it's just more which one do you prefer, and what solid juices you're running on there too, because that does play quite a bit. Your juice, your coils, your cotton, all of it has like a mixture in there. Besides the atomizer, all the components that go inside really play a bit into what it's gonna like come out, what flavors you're gonna get, what all that kind of shit, you know. A side effect of parenthood is amnesia. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I have two kiddos, but they don't really live with me. They live with their mother. They just stay with me every other weekend, so I can't really blame that all that much. Or at least it doesn't feel like I can. Seriously, still like it's a single coil Addy, and that you saw the cloudage that just came out of that. Hey Chris, I don't know if you saw this, but check it out, bro. I'm loving this stupid thing, and I gotta go check my mail because I know I got an Addy waiting for me in my mailbox that came in today specifically for this guy. So we will see. We will see. I'm excited about that. Hopefully, I'll get it set up before the Ohmies, and I will have it rocking and rolling for the Ohmies show later tonight. This week you're on Frames Janklin's channel if you guys don't know or whatever. I don't know. So coil building. You guys want to share any of your experiences or anything like that, or any comments, questions? Let me know. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I will try my best to answer things to the best of my abilities, and yada yada yada. Dude, seriously, yeah. I had the Citadel sitting on top of there, and it looked really good. I had the Entheon sitting on top of there, and then I will say this button is really sensitive. It goes off really easily without much of a touch, and it ended up melting the cap to my Entheon. That was a weird experience. What else? Yeah, be careful when putting things in bags or pockets or what have you, or don't do it in the first place. It's one of those things, or get you one of those what is it, Dessa bags, or as most people call them, douche bags. Just quick safety tips. No, yeah, pretty much, dude. It's been a interesting week for me. Then I got this guy in for a review later on this week. It's the Elite V3 on top of the Keen. That thing just looks ridiculous on there. Not as bad as putting a overpowered RDA, but it still looks ridiculous. What else? I'm trying to think here, and I'm trying to just keep this going. Or at least like for another 9 minutes or so. Because, I mean, honestly, I was going to keep this show kind of short unless I have a guest. Which, if you are a DIYer, a coil builder, a modder, and you guys want to come on the show, please DM me on Instagram. and we'll get something worked out, a schedule worked out, and see if we could get you guys to come on. Because honestly, I want to hear your stories. I want to know more about you, and let people know more about you, especially if you actually sell stuff. I don't mind sharing the wealth on trying to get the word out and trying to get more people involved in your end of the community. Like, I need to talk to Mark still, but I know I'm going to have Mark on for at least one episode. I would rather do two so I could separate the boxes from the juice, because the dude does both. I mean, this is from the Gathering Vapor Lounge Witch's Brew line, and that is Blue Goblin, which is blue raspberry. Really, really good stuff. What else? So yeah, any suggestions you guys have or any questions? I hit like the end point of all my talking and speech, which gets interesting when you're like trying to do these things by yourself. I was telling Frank earlier about that. A lot of this is very interesting when you try to talk to yourself with the camera instead of in a panel show where you have ideas you can bounce off of each other right away. So yeah, I've been drinking lots of water lately because trying to stay away from the Cokes and things. So I bought this guy. It's a half a gallon of water. That feels so much better. So yeah. I will say, let me see. Oh yeah, for sure. Prep your wires well, Mr. Chris Snyder, aka Overdrip. Which again, Overdrip. This needs to become a thing. I want like a proper label on that next time I get one, and I want to see it made commercially. Just saying. You live in Canada, bro. I'm gonna keep bugging you until it happens. Not really. I love you, man. Yeah. Yeah, prepping your wire is very, very important. Make sure you have everything just set up and ready to go for once you start that drill up. Make sure everything's locked in place. Your spinner or your swivels, everything are ready to go. Like seriously, I've had moments where I just set it up, don't really think about it, and something snaps here, something snaps there, and you just have wire flying everywhere and you don't know. And like some styles of builds you cannot recover, some you can. Like a Clapton you can recover from so easily because you just can backtrack a little bit and move it forward. But like an Alien, once you mess it up, you're gonna have to start over. Or if you're okay with leaving that mess up in there, just leave the mess up in there. Frame staples, I've had the issue where I have it all tailed in with the swivel and just hot glued and everything in there, which hot glue is a really cool trick, honestly, when it comes to that, because you could get it just stuck in there and a lot of the wire won't move once you get that hot glue set properly. But if the hot glue, either you didn't put enough or do it tight enough, because that's one weird thing about it, you have to have it tight enough. You could have all the wire just pull out completely from the hot glue and you'll just have this giant like flower looking thing like that out of wire, and trying to set it all back tends to be kind of a pain in the ass. Just saying, like I've had a couple of mess ups on frame staples. Which, what happened to the ones I had over here? Oh, here they are. I actually had a pair I made a while back, and I don't remember what the specs on these guys are, but that situation right there is pretty insane. These are, I think they're like 26 core, 26 on the outer core, and they are, I think it's like a 0.4, 0.5. These in like dual mode, they will down to like a 0.7. So these are not meant for dual mode, but yeah, look at that. It's a big chunky monkey. Let's see. Mr. Vaping with Ken. When I prep my wire, I make sure it has a good meal and some wine so it feels content and full. That way it's easier to manipulate. I feel like wire appreciates you more and will work with you more. I also strongly suggest people get patinos for fuse Claptons or Aliens. Core collapses is the most common issue people have. Yep. Core collapsing. That's where I think I've gotten the core collapsing down when it comes to trying to do triples and bigger. But For me, it's a stretch, honestly. But yeah, making sure you have something to keep your wire steady. I know there's millions of tricks at this point. There's like putting two Legos together over the wire. There is paper clips. There is patinos. There is the Daedalus coil guides. There are so many different ways and tricks. It's trying to find that one that works for you. For me, it's the patinos. Here, let me see if I can find mine real quick. Because I actually have 3 different styles and sets. These are the ones. These are for 26 to 28 gauge aliens. If I can get this thing open. But yeah, these are what patinos. What if you guys see Chris's comment? These are what patinos are. They're just these little Altoid looking things. They have these little holes in here, like a little slit, and you just run the wire through that. Personally, I only use one per thing because honestly, I feel it twists the wire way too hard if you use more. And these are the 26 gauge for extra wide coils, and you can stick a giant frame staple in these. But I mean, you can kind of, hopefully you could see how big the hole is. I can't make it out right now. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Let me see if it'll focus on that, you idiot. Either way, you can kind of see it, but not really. And then there's like, they have different styles, different colors. I bought them in different colors just so I know which one's which in case I have them all spread out on the table. But those are always a good suggestion. Trying to find just what works for you, because I know some people will argue with me that the Daedalus ones are the best ones. Personally, I hated them. I tried them and they were not, for me, they were not my thing. I didn't like them. So I think I have them around here somewhere, but those will be going to somebody special that I've already talked to a friend of mine to sending them to this other individual. So I just can't say anything because then things will get back and they will know. Chris, you'll be happy. Look at that. Look at that patina. Just all patinaed out. All right. All right. So coil building. If you guys have any more suggestions on things that I could come up with or whatever, I am going to be talking to some folks about maybe coming on as guests and that type of situation. And you know, we'll move on and progress. But I'm still trying to grow this series and see where I'm going to go with it and all that kind of situation. But for now, I'm going to leave you guys. With, thank you for coming on and just hanging out with me for an idiotic half an hour. Because honestly, half of the time I feel like I'm rambling and just making things up as I go along. Even if I put thought into it, I just feel like I'm making things up as I go along. So I will say, as always, check out clownvapes.com. I got lots of my own juice lying on there. I'm looking to a launch for Rectum Balls, which is a key lime pie, in May. Should be by the first episode of Vaping with the Ohmies in the Vaping with the Ohmies channel, which don't forget to subscribe to that channel. We'd appreciate it. And you're good, user abuser. We're hanging out and talking coils. If you want to check out the replay, always go for it. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so check out the Vaping with the Ohmies channel. Check out vaping with clownvapes.com. Coils. I got my coils, my juice in there, and I got a bunch of other things. I still need to add a couple more things that I'm working on, and I've talked to a couple of folks and this and that. Trying to grow the business into a more one-stop shop kind of thing for vaping. What else? What is it? Wolf Bite. Go check us out. We are on Vape Radio on Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 9 p.m. for replays. You could either hit up our SoundCloud channel, or I'm actually starting to post the videos of us recording, so you get to see our stupid faces the whole time. So, you know, there's always all that kind of situation if you guys want to check that out. I know I posted episode 22 last week. This week it will be episode 23. And on the Vape Radio edition, we're up to like episode 30 this week. So that lets you know how far behind I'm posting these, so you can play catch up and yada, yada, yada. Reviews, more reviews later on. Hello, love yourself, XX. How are you? Well, let me give you a quick rundown. Every week on this show, I guess I'll be talking DIY stuff, coil making, box mods, juice, and all that kind of situation. So thank you for joining me. I'm kind of doing the outro at this point, but I keep getting distracted by chat because that's who I am. I am just shiny, that kind of person. So yeah, I think I did everything. And as always, guys, thank you for joining me, and mix on, vape on. I messed that up. Bye.